So let's see how this will go. I'm about to do my hair. I randomly just decided that I want to do my hair. I blow dried it last week, Friday, I think, Saturday, I don't know, before the weekend. And I didn't want to just keep wearing it in a little ponytail because, yeah. So I decided that I want to try to do Bantu nuts or Bantu nuts. I used to do Bantu nuts on my hair like all the time when I was transitioning to natural back like 10 years ago. But I've never tried it on my actual natural hair. So I want to try it on my blow dried hair. So, like I said, my hair is blow dried. I blow dried my hair a few days ago. I don't, depending on what I'm doing for my style, I don't, hold on. There we go. Depending on what I'm doing for my style, I don't, sorry, I'm like looking at all the settings, like I said. Ooh, okay. I don't blow dry it like straight. I usually blow dry it on warm. I don't blow dry it on hot. So it still has a little bit of texture in it. But yeah, I'm just gonna try to do this and see how it comes out. But anyways, just drop my tool. Like I said, this is my first live on YouTube, so we gonna see how it's gonna go. I usually go live on TikTok, which if you don't have me on TikTok, go ahead and follow me on TikTok. We are on TikTok, we are on Snapchat, we are not on Instagram. My Instagram is my business page, which I believe all of those are linked in my bio. Yes, because if you click the website, hi my love, if you click the website in my bio on YouTube, you'll see that's my business page, and you'll see oops. So yeah, you'll see the, go ahead and click that like button, y'all. But yeah, you'll see my website, and if you scroll all the way down, it has all my social medias, my Instagram, I believe my TikTok, and my Pinterest. Yes, so we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on Pinterest. My Instagram is my hair page. My TikTok is like my TikTok. My Pinterest is my hair Pinterest, if that makes sense. Yeah. If you click in the link in the bio, you'll understand what I'm trying to say. But anyways, yes, so back to the hair. Actually no, back to what I was saying. So yes, hit me up on those social medias. Y'all tap on the screen for your girl. Give your girl some likes so we can get more people on here. How's everybody doing? How is your day? What's been going on with you? All I'm using is mousse because my hair is blow dried, so it doesn't need like a styling cream, and I feel like I don't want it to revert, so I'm only going to use mousse. Now let me show y'all how ghetto my mousse is. So this is what happened, right? The top broke off, so I have to like manually put it back and then spray it. I know, ghetto, but there's too much, like there's a lot of product in here, so I don't want to throw it away. Anyways, yeah, so those are the apps that we are on right now. I just started posting, I think, I want to say I started my YouTube like, if not the end of 2024, then the beginning of this year. It hasn't been that long. And I now, at the time of this video, I think I have 61 subscribers. Yeah. When God tells you to do something, just do it. Just do it, because you don't know why he's telling you to do that. And sometimes he just wants you to be obedient. I believe I just posted a video saying the same thing, but like, honestly, look. That's how ghetto. I gotta use this thing. It's hard out here for a pimp. Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, when God tells you to do something, just do it. Cause God directed me to open this YouTube page, and I don't know. I take my TikToks and I post them on here, and who knows who it's reaching, who needed to hear that message, or needed to watch that video, or you know, or maybe the video raised their spirits or something. Who knows? You know, I just try to be obedient. Anyways, yeah. So try these Bantu knots. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Sorry, y'all. Okay, I don't know. I'm kind of scared. Maybe I did this section too small, but this is really small. I think I did it too small. When I used to do these back in the day, because if I do them this small, I'm gonna be here forever. I don't know if y'all can see. And it's hard to do these with nails. Y'all see how small it is? Yeah, I'm gonna do the sections a little bigger because this is way too small and it's gonna take me forever, and it's already 9 o'clock at night. Anyways, how y'all doing? So yeah, you never know like who needs to hear a message, or who is connected to your obedience, because that's the reality. Like sometimes we just have to do what God tells us to do because it's gonna reach somebody who who needs it. Like you never know. You really never know where who you might be blessing, and who you might be blessing and where your next blessing might come from. If that makes sense. All right, we did this a little bit bigger now. I'm really experimenting with this because I've never done this before. I haven't done a Bantu knot out in probably like at least like 10 years, maybe even more. So we'll see. But yeah, obedience. We gotta be obedient, and I made a TikTok, and I think I posted on Shorts too, that sometimes obedience doesn't make sense, and sometimes I feel God just wants us to be obedient because he's building that muscle with us. He's building that kind of habit that we're being obedient, because I feel those things like obedience, faith, discipline, all that stuff, it's like a muscle. You have to keep doing it to build on it, to to what's the word, to like create that trait in yourself. You can't just wake up one morning and expect to be obedient to God. And I feel like he tests us with some of the little stuff, because if he can't, one thing about God, I feel, in my humble opinion, that if God can't trust you with the little stuff, he can't trust you with the big stuff. If God can't trust you to, you know, if God can't trust you to give like $1 to somebody, he's not gonna trust you. If God can't trust you with $10, he's not gonna trust you with $10 million. You know what I mean? And I feel that is how we kind of like, I don't want to say we prove ourselves to him, but like we prove ourselves to him. by us showing that he can trust us with the little things. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. All right, this is the first one. I don't know if y'all can see. It's real small. Not too much on me. Let's see how it comes out. I think it's good though. I hope. If it comes out bad, we'll just comb it out and move on. What was I saying? Yeah, obedience. So you gotta build those muscles, and like people expect to go viral, expect to have all these followers, but if you have like how right now I only have 60 subscribers on 61 subscribers. Gotta keep that one because 61 subscribers on YouTube. If I can't be trusted with just 61 subscribers, how do I expect to get to 61K? If I can't be trusted with 6 subscribers, how can I expect to be trusted with 6 million? You know what I mean? Heaven wasn't created in a day. Or what do they say? Rome wasn't created in a day, or whatever they say. Basically, that like we gotta build upon things. It doesn't happen overnight. Well, sometimes it does happen overnight, but if you're not if you're not showing God or proving that you can be trusted, and not to say that we need to prove ourselves to God, but that if we're not able to prove that we can be trusted, how with the little things, how are we expected to be trusted with the big things? You know what I mean? And I feel like that's another thing that people really, a lot of us really struggle with is showing God that we can be trusted. Can God really trust us? You know what I mean? We trust in him, and can he trust in us? Because as much as he is God, he is sovereign, he is bigger than everything. You know what I mean? Like he still needs us to carry out his assignments on earth. You know what I mean? As much as God has all the power in the world, he also needs us human beings to help him to carry out his agenda. You know what I mean? How is God supposed to win souls if he doesn't have human beings on earth who are going to, you know, help him win souls? You know what I'm saying? I really hope this comes out good, y'all. I don't know. Usually people put what's the word? They put like rubber bands around the knots. But when I used to do it, I didn't have to do that because the knots were so tight for me. But I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, hopefully it comes out good. I'll show y'all the results tomorrow. Probably not on YouTube because does YouTube have stories? I gotta check if they have stories. I don't think they have stories. But if not, I'll show y'all on my TikTok. Anywho, yeah, you gotta be trusted with with the little things. If you have a job and you're hoping to be promoted, if you have a lower position and you're not doing well in that lower position, how do you expect to be trusted with a higher position? They're not gonna trust you. It doesn't matter what skill set you have. It doesn't matter if God told you that you're going to be the president. If you can't, we gotta like be able to build on it. You know what I mean? As in like we got to be able to go through the process. That's a good way to put it, because I feel like sometimes us Christians, we feel like we are exempt from the process, and I feel like that's where we miss it. That we feel the process is not, the process doesn't apply to us, which of course our God is a protocol breaker. He's all that stuff, but that doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes we actually need to go through the process because through the process we learn about ourselves. We learn about ourselves. We learn about God reveals certain things in us, and reveals those like negative character traits that we need to work on and all that stuff. God shows us like how we need to move and stuff like that. And we wouldn't be able to get all those revelations if we didn't go through the process. You know what I mean? And I feel like the process is more important than the actual like. Ooh, y'all see how it's unraveling, Loki? I don't know if y'all can see that. Okay. But yeah, I feel like the process is more important than the actual. I don't want to say more important, but maybe I should say a good way to put it would be to say the process is almost as important as the actual blessing, because we need that. We need that process to help us create, to help us become. Ooh, I just got a revelation, y'all. Revelation alert. A butterfly cannot become a butterfly without first being a caterpillar. A caterpillar does not come into this earth be there's nothing that comes into this earth that is straight a butterfly, straight. It has to start as a caterpillar. Then it goes through the process, it goes through the chrysalis, it goes through the cocoon, whatever the hell they call it, for it to become the butterfly. It doesn't come right out the gate as the butterfly. It has to go through the process. The caterpillar cannot skip the process. And that is what I feel sometimes we feel that we can do. We feel like we can skip the process. But the process is just as important as the actual outcome. You know what I mean? The process is just as important, or is, how do I say it? Just as important or is important as the process. I mean, what was I saying? Y'all know what I mean. We have to be able to go through the process to learn what we need to learn before we get to where we need to go, to better equip us, to so that we're really ready for it. Because I think I posted a TikTok about this too, that if we ask for something and God doesn't prepare us for it, and then we end up fumbling it, or it doesn't go well, we will end up blaming God when it's not God's fault. you know some of us want to skip the process, and then we end up in a bind because of it. you know because if you're hired to a job, right, and they don't bring you through orientation or your onboarding process, your training, you're not going to know what to do on the job.